Thank you, everybody. It's great to be here this morning. It's always exciting to elect new officials. As you know, my name is Amit Singh, and I'm running for Congress here in the 8th District. And I'm running on a clear and consistent platform, one of limited government, fiscal responsibility, and protecting our personal freedoms and a strong national defense. These are not only Republican values, but these are core American values. As many of you know, I'm an engineer by trade. And after graduating from the University of Virginia, I started my own small business. And we primarily do business with the intelligence community, and I help the soldiers that are fighting the insurgency every day. And since I've entered this race, the campaign has gotten stronger and stronger. We're canvassing every day. I've been to many of your homes and have talked to you about the issues, and we're fundraising. In less than 3 months, we've been able to raise almost $60,000 in cash. And we've been attending parades and all the events. In fact, just last week, I was at a reception for Tom Davis downtown, and after chatting with Tom for a little bit, guess who showed up? Jim Moran, late as usual. And eventually when he approached me and we started chatting, he leaned into me and he said, "You know, my staff says if you win the primary, this election is going to get interesting." I leaned back into him and I said, "It's going to get very interesting." Then I left him with that smirk on his face. He knows if I win the primary, he's going to run against a candidate who's strong on the economy, one who's not beholden to special interest, and one who understands that wasteful spending is what has got us into the situation that we're in. And I agree with John McCain on earmark reform, and that is why I signed the Citizens Against Government Waste pledge as well. Because since we do have a time limit, I'm not going to go through all the earmarks that Jim Moran has signed up for, but I think it's sufficient to say that he thinks earmark reform is just another fad. I'm also running on a strong national defense. As I told you before, I work with our soldiers every day. I help them with counter-IED measures and helping fight the insurgency. And I also agree with John McCain when he says the insurgency will come to an end when Iraq has a better economy and more jobs. And we also have to listen to General Petraeus when he says all the gains that the military has made are reversible. So now it's time for the politicians to step up to the plate and put the correct pressure on the Iraqi government to start spending their $25 billion budget surplus into their own economy. Because when these young men who are joining the militias for pay have a safe and good alternative to get a good job, the insurgency will go away, and then we can bring our soldiers back safely, responsibly, and with honor. Speaking of honor, or actually the lack thereof when it comes to Jim Moran, after he thinks that our soldiers are performing ethnic cleansing, I want to ask each and every one of you for a favor. And it's not just to drive Jim Moran crazy. I can do that on my own. But I want you guys to help me beat Jim Moran this November. Because not only will that be good for the country and good for the 8th District, but we can finally wipe that smirk off of his face and say that Jim Moran is just another fad.